Hi, I'm the Reverend Jendi Burwell. I want to share something that I find quite useful and that I was really grateful for when I discovered a Christian faith. I will have to put these videos together in iMovie, so hopefully they work out okay. I was brought up on a farm, so I was well aware of seasons and that you plant things at certain times and you harvest at certain times and that there's a rhythm to life. But I was not brought up in the Christian community, and so I didn't have that rhythm in my life. Was really quite excited when I did become a follower of Christ in my early 30s and discovered things like the Christian calendar and the lectionary and things like that. I find the Christian calendar super helpful. So I find some real value in structuring my day, my week, and my year, my season that I'm in, with some framework behind it. Now, I think that's useful for people whether or not they put Christian things in their calendar or not. So I like planning what a year might look like, what the next 3 months might look like, what are the big celebrations, what are the feasts, what are the fasts. I guess it's something to do with finding where I'm at the moment. So, here we are, we're in the season of Easter. It's 2020, we've got some particular challenges with COVID. I'm in Auckland. It's, April, so that has some gardening or other implications. And so I like knowing where I'm at in the big story of God, but also in planning for my week, my year. So I'm going to stop this video and do one where the camera's facing the other way. Tell people, like how to suck eggs as such, but I find it really useful each 3 months to print out a blank kind of calendar and think, right, what's coming up? Where am I? What do I need to do? How am I going to structure my life? So in April, these are new ones today so that you didn't see all my other stuff. But there's Easter. That gives my life a certain flow. There's Anzac Day. There's some stuff I need to do around that. There might be significant birthdays or significant things. I often will mark on if I was going away. But what is the shape of my life over the next 3 months like? I might look back and think, crikey, I haven't had a couple of days off, let's put those in. But planning is really important. I mean, I quite like being a bit spontaneous too, but I find planning can be really useful. Like here we are, we're, only in April, but I've actually got to start making some plans around Ascension Day and Pentecost. For me, I need to be doing that stuff up here now, so I need to know that now and getting some kind of structure. There's a few things in the garden that I will put on here as well because that's helpful for me. I will then take this and look at a day's plan. So what does my Sunday look like, my Monday, my Tuesday? When am I going to get up? For me, when am I going to pray? When am I going to cook food? What is the routine of my life that gives it some structure and some clarity? I super commend to you the idea of, even in these odd times when you can't go to work as such or you can't go to things, having some routine, having some structure to your day is still really important. And for us to know where we are in the big story and in the day-to-day, like it's lunchtime, I'm going to pause, or it's nighttime, it's time for bed. But to just know what our flow and what our structure is can be super, super helpful. Now, it might not be for everyone. Their day might look different. Maybe you like to get up at 6 like I do and start the day with coffee or a long run or a walk or something. But I like to kind of know that somewhere between 7 and 8 o'clock I'm going to start my day in prayer. I'm going to take a break in the middle of the day, have some food, walk outside, and I will engage in some prayer. Somewhere when the end of the work day ends or the day, there's some evening prayer or a transition from one space to another space. Now I need to be with family perhaps, now I'm going to cook dinner or do all those other things, but I want some structure around leaving one aspect of my life and entering into another. And so for me, evening prayer can be useful. Sometime at night, before bed, I like to go through a night prayer routine. I quite like the daily examine, what went well today, what didn't, think about my life. Put some stuff away, say, let it be, today has gone, and I'll do stuff again tomorrow. But it can be super helpful to have some structure, particularly in times where stuff's a bit weird and maybe we don't quite know what's happening, to try as best as we can to have some form of structure. And hold loosely to it perhaps, because unexpected things can happen too. So there we have it. At the risk of telling people how to suck eggs, I've just shared some things that are useful for me. I really have liked the Christian calendar, the idea that there's times for feasting, there's times for fasting, there's times for a little more reflection, and there's times for a little more action. And all those things are built into the calendar, which is pretty cool, I think. So we find ourselves in Easter, and Easter is wonderful. It's not just one day. Easter will go through until the 31st of May. Regardless of what you might believe faith-wise, maybe there's some new life that you can find in this time. That Easter idea of a new day, life, new life, different life, changed life in some ways, particularly while we find ourselves in this lockdown, creating quite possibly a new reality and a new life to go back to. Anyhow, God bless. Have a super Tuesday. I'll see you all again